Hello everyone, my name is Sadaria. As a part of ENEP20001 internship work experience, I'm here to present my internship work project, that is generation of standard operating procedure for the bar line manufacturing process. Let us first look at the overview of the entire presentation. First, we have the organization overview, which will introduce the host organization and my roles in the organization. Next would be the project details, that would include the steps which were followed by me to make the SOPs for the bar line making. Next is the code of practice that is usually followed in the host organization, including the organization's policy, rules and regulations of the legislation, and the safety norms. Next would be the learning outcome that I had achieved by finishing my project and from the entire experience. Next will be the conclusion of the project, which will summarize the entire internship experience. This slide gives a general overview of the organization. The name of the host organization is Diver Foods Private Limited. It is located on 15 Rocco Drive, Scoresby, Victoria, which is an eastern suburb from Melbourne. It is a food manufacturing industry and is a leading producer of nut bars and cereals in Australia. The duration of internship was 12 weeks long, starting from 16th of March 2020 to 4th of June 2020. The person who helped me during the entire internship experience and my internship supervisor is Graham Best, who is a senior engineering manager in the host organization. There was numerous responsibilities that I had to abide to finish my project at Diver Foods Private Limited. The first was fostering good relationship with the machine operators that will help me to derive the information that I needed for the standard operating procedure. The next was the applying of the engineering knowledge to derive the working principle of the machines and the standard operating procedure for the machines of the bar line. The next was to assist the quality control department to generate a standard operating procedure in a fixed template that would be provided by the host organization. The next was to assist the senior project manager and the engineers to identify the bottlenecks and the problems in the current machinery and the equipment procedure of the bar line, and then trying to rectify them. The next was to maintain the appropriate procedure to ensure the safety, the efficiency, and the auditability of tasks that would include how the operators can be safe during a standard practice and what can be done to ensure that they remain safe and they increase their efficiency. This slide will give the details of the project that I finished at Diver Foods Private Limited. The project title, as we know, is the generation of standard operating procedure for the bar line making. There were some objectives that I needed to achieve to finish the project. The first one was the identification of the equipment, processes, and hazards in the bar line. That is, identifying each equipment that is used in the bar line and then knowing about its procedure. The next was interviewing of the operators to know about their roles and responsibilities as the operators and how they achieved their daily routine in a safe way. The last step would be the documenting of the data and making a standard operating procedure in a fixed template. There were some constraints relating to the project. The first one would be the standard operating procedure would be generic. That is, there will not be two different SOPs for two different ingredients in the same equipment. The next would be the legislative rules that needs to be followed by the organization in order to have maintain their business in Victoria. The next would be the uniform supply of the raw materials and the ingredients that would be included as a part of SOPs. They need to be fixed and they need to be as per the quality to maintain my project authenticity. The next would be the availability of the PPE and the tools that are mentioned in my SOPs. As a part of first objective, the identification of equipment and procedure for the bar line was important. Here is the list of SOPs that I needed to generate in order to complete the entire bar line making process. In the blending room, there were two SOPs required. The first was for the batching operation that helped the operation in mixing of the dry ingredients for the making of the bar. The next was the bulk bag unloader that helped to unload the bulk ingredients in the line. The next was the kitchen area. It included the syrup operation that is making of the syrup for the bars. The next was the slab operation that helped to make a fixed slab which would be then transformed into the bars. The last room was the bar making room, which included the slitter, spreader and guillotine operation that helped to cut the bars in a uniform way. Second was the enrober machine that helped to enrobe the bars with the coating that was required. And the last was the coating system that is included as a part of the enrober but helped to enrobe the bars in a fixed design of the syrup that was needed above the bars. For the generation of each SOP, the first step was learning about the equipment. I used the instruction manuals and other internet sources to know more about the equipment. As shown in the figure, the decorating device that is the enrober had an instruction manual as shown that I had to read through and know about the processes and the subparts that were included in the machine to write the standard operating procedure. The next was interacting with the operators and engineers. I prepared a general questionnaire for the entire SOP that would be needed to ask the operator fixed questions that would be helping me in my generation of the SOP. The next step was looking for the hazards, that is, what makes the process difficult and what would be more dangerous for the operators that could be mentioned in the SOP and that could be eliminated by the operators during their daily work. The penultimate step would be retrieving of all the information that would be needed for the fixed SOP and taking some pictures that can be attached in the SOP for the procedure. And the final step would be populating all the information that is retrieved and the images in a fixed template provided by Diver Foods Private Limited as shown in the figure, and then looking for all the information and the hazards in a step-by-step basis to complete the SOP and then forwarding them for the quality control. Next, there was a standard code of practice that was followed by everyone, including the visitors and the employees of the organization. The first was the company policies that included the smoke-free site rule, the code of conduct, and other safety measures that were taken by the organization. The next, I learned about the legislative requirements that would help to set a food manufacturing industry in Victoria and follow the rules set up by the government and the council. The next was the safety policies that were included as a part of the Safe Work policies and Safe Work Australia that included the use of PPEs, the use of safe walkways, and forklift operation within the site. As far as my learning outcomes are concerned as a part of the internship work experience, I learned about the application of engineering knowledge at the workplace, the time management to generate all the SOPs in the required time frame. It enhanced my professional communication skills while communicating with the operators and my senior engineers. It helped me to follow a systematic approach to solve a real-life problem, that is, a generation of SOPs for all the equipments. And the last, it enhanced my work ethics that helped me to learn how to work in a professional manner. To conclude, this project experience helped me understand the work ethics of engineers in Australia. This experience will also help me to gain a better knowledge about the professional engineering experiences and engineering roles in food manufacturing industry. Thank you so much for your kind attention.